For those of you who have seen my Shiwu and iDubbbz girlfriend videos, I'm going to try to not repeat myself, but you would be hard-pressed to see much difference between Shiwu, iDubbbz girlfriend, and Pokemane. And it's not a coincidence that they're all part of the same friend group, because one thing that they all have in common is Uwu syndrome. Girls with Uwu syndrome all want to present themselves as someone attractive and innocent. And they do this so that they can gather white knights for their own success.
Look, I'm sorry that Pokemane tends to have a very slim but curvy body, and she's not like you, a person who looks like she's a fucking lizard who has two flesh bowling balls in front of her chest. I mean, stop trying to shame her for her body type and how she's super attractive, and paint everybody who defends her from your frivolous accusations and personal assaults as white knights. And I just like to keep in mind that she says terms like birds of a feather that flock together, which is a term that a lot of like racist people use, and people who are ethnocentric in mind. Keep that in mind, and keep in mind that she used these common term phrases because she's later going to criticize Pokemane for using these types of terms.
She also desperately markets herself as thick.
It's too thick.
Myth, you want to talk about you? My fingers!
I like how in earlier of the video she criticizes Pokemane for being too thin.
Even if it means lying about their body types or humble bragging about their Disney princess waistlines.
Make up your choice. Either she's so skinny that your boobs are bigger than her ass, or that she's secretly wants to be your size and thick and full-figured and chunky and all that.
For example, she admits to being a casual anime watcher.
I've seen quite a few animes, but I'm not as devoted. Yeah, I'm a casual.
Yet, she has merchandise with Japanese text on it. She dresses weeby in sailor costume.
I didn't know anime owns a whole language, which is kind of racist if you ask me, but that's like me saying you're only a casual watcher of Westerns, yet you have English fonts on your merch. You're only a casual watcher of Black Panther, but yet you have an African medallion, and so on and so forth. Such a trash argument.
And she'll use anime reaction images like she's somebody that's part of that culture, just to appeal to the people that are.
In Japan, there's a lot of people who are xenophobic, and a xenophobic Japanese person could say, why is this blue-eyes Becky the Trekkie even using anime? She's not Japanese. I mean, you get where I'm going with this, right?
Pokemane has the it's okay when I do it mentality, otherwise known as being a hypocrite. All she does all day is preach platitudes about how you should be a nice person and how, viewers can't handle what streamers can handle and all these type of things.
So when you use out of date and overuse basic bitch quotes like this,
birds of a feather flock together.
Aren't you doing the same thing? And I knew that this person was not smart when I seen in the background that they have running lights in the middle of the daytime. You're running your bill up, you moron. Come on.
Pokey platitudes, let's call them. She'll promote positivity, those paused vibes, because you're not allowed to be negative or criticize anything. It's kind of like when you criticize other females. You have to agree with all females and be on their side, or else you're just jealous or something. It's all about uplifting other people until she decides it's not. Like that time where she shit-talked the girls that stayed in school to get their engineering degree.
The girls that there were in my Eng program, I'm in Eng. They were like normie, but to like another level. I made like a couple girlfriends in engineering, and then they all dropped out. And all the boring girls stayed. Feels bad, man.
Yeah, I was in Eng and I dropped out, but I'm like still better than them because like I'm not as normie as they are. I'm just like a Reddit normie.
I'm still waiting on this supposed hypocrisy that she's doing. I mean, she's not complaining or making fun of fan suicide or anything like that, which I could see how you would think that that's hypocritical. Also, I guess when she admits to being a normie when it comes to anime, it's a shitstorm. But when she points out that most, if not all, the cool people dropped out of STEM because there's very little females in STEM, let's just be honest, then it's a whole big thing. And also, I don't know if she's trolling, but one moment she says that you're not allowed to criticize women and how that's actually holding people back. But the next moment, when she actually does criticize women, she's a bad person. Make up your mind, you cunt.
Told her that she sounded like a kindergarten teacher and that she was the worst for doing these pokeisms of sharing is caring type of thing. And then she tweeted out this tweet and she blocked me directly after, so it was very clearly towards me.
Look, lizard face Becky the Trekkie. I'm pretty sure Pokemane actually blocks like hundreds of people a day. I mean, I'm pretty sure she doesn't even know who you are or that you exist at all. So stop trying to build up. I mean, your ego is almost as big as your fucking breasts.
Because she's nice and she's deep, that's why she posted pictures of herself without makeup. Just kidding. The reason she did that was because she had a stream where she had no makeup on and everybody had a reaction to it saying that she didn't look good, and her response to it wasn't to say, oh, what about my personality? Or, oh, you guys are objectifying me. I mean, that alone goes to show what they're there for, considering it was such a big uproar. But her response to it was, guys, look, I'm pretty, I swear. Look, if I pose in certain lights, I can look good without makeup. See? See? See?
I see little to any difference between Pokemon with makeup and without makeup. She looks absolutely incredible, in my personal opinion, and she still looks gorgeous.
She goes and says it's without makeup, but she clearly has some kind of gloss on, probably some transparent mascara. But you know what? That's not like heavy makeup or something. The bad part is she puts filters, I don't know how many, over it. What's the point in posting a no makeup selfie to say, see, I look good, if you have to put filters over it?
Have you ever thought she's doing that because she has a low quality phone?
Not only that, but just like SS Sniper Wolf, someone that she's, friendly with online, she photoshops herself so much that her skin just looks permanently blurry. Look at this photo where she's holding the cup. The cup is blending into her face.
I guess if you zoom in, then anything could seem like it's blurry when you zoom in that close. Come on now. I mean, she does have a kind of pink complexion, and I guess that cup is pink, but it's not really blending in.
She also photoshops herself to be several shades lighter, and I'm not talking about just like brightening up your photo a little bit so you can see things better or something like that, because every girl wants to look brighter, but she makes herself look a lot lighter. It just looks like it's to the point where she's trying to be a different race. And for those of you who don't know, she is a Muslim Moroccan, a Northern African. Here's some photos of what her skin tone actually looks like. It's not just a one-off thing. There's multiple photos that show that she's much, much darker than she portrays herself to be.
I love that reference to how she says every girl wants to be brighter but not lighter. What's the difference? And two, why you have to put her ethnicity in her supposed religion into it? That seems a little racist and bigoted to me. Like, how come you couldn't just let that go? And us persons of color, we actually get darker, and some of us are naturally lighter and get darker. We don't stay to some pale vanilla shade all our life, or at least tan red. We have multiple colors.
And I know this because anytime a sponsor has tweeted a photo of her at an event or anything like that, if anyone takes a photo of her profile, she does not retweet it. She does not bring attention to it. If she was as half as virtuous as she pretends to be, she wouldn't have such a problem with these photos, nor would she feel the need to Photoshop them. As you can see, she's very concerned with how she looks and how she presents herself despite trying to act like she's virtuous and accepts her flaws.
I like how she paints her nose as a flaw. I mean, she has a natural Semitic nose that is common with North Africans, Middle Easterns, and Central Asians. That's not a flaw. And just because she haven't tweeted some very rough pics of herself when she's not even staring at the camera doesn't mean she's uncomfortable with her Semitic nose, you fucking bigot.
She does typical cam girl behavior as a Muslim.
I'm starting to think you wear leggings all the time for a reason. Yeah, there is a reason. It's because they're comfy as fuck and I'm playing video games.
I think that someone whispering your ear is pretty intimate, and ASMR, generally speaking, tends to be girlfriend simulator because she wants to be uwu waifu for her white nights. Like I mentioned earlier, she gets up with tight leggings on all the time, purposefully trying to show off her assets.
It's straight up.
Mirror! What the hell?
Is she bad? I think she's bad.
What
I really shouldn't know.
If you go through her Twitch, you'll see that she sometimes wears low-cut shirts. And again, I don't personally have a problem for that, but I don't get a pass for wearing low-cut shirts because I have bigger breasts. So because she has smaller breasts, she gets a pass for wearing low-cut tops because it's harder for her to have cleavage, and it naturally happens for me.
Look, you can't make your life and avoid daily activities because you think somebody will find what you're doing as sexy. I mean, one of my favorite Weird Al Yankovic songs, Amish Paradise, they had this little Amish porn magazine where they had this woman just showing a leg and they had the kids looking at it and being horny. That's how I feel about when people complain, oh, you're wearing this pants too tight or whatever. She's wearing normal clothing for her body size, and it's not really that much sexual at all. And for the whole big boobs thing, look, I know you have craters on your fucking chest or whatever, but hey, a man like myself or like somebody else who have a big cock and balls would have to tuck more than a person with a micro penis. It's the sacrifice of having big extremities in life. Deal with it.
Sorry, I forgot.
How are you a streamer and you're going to say you forgot where the camera was? Let me tell you, Pokemane always knows where the camera is. That's why she's always pushing herself to the center of every single group photo you will see her in. At what point is she any different from the cam girl behavior that she makes fun of? She has footage of her working out. She has plenty of footage, compilations of her bending over and walking around in tight leggings. And she has multiple photos and streams of her with cleavage. And she does ASMR, something that you see pretty much only Twitch thoughts do. So at what point is she any different from Pink Sparkles or Amaranth? The only difference I see is that someone like Pink Sparkles is more honest about selling their body, and someone like Pokemane is ingenuine, as her name implies. And the people that defend Pokemane are also being dishonest with themselves, such as her friend, who is a streamer defending her against Pink Sparkle. It's very interesting how much alike these girls are. I mean, this girl that's defending her had her own Pokey Oopsie on stream.
So let's review her points. Pokemon knows where all cameras are because she positions herself at the right angle when somebody is pointing a camera at her, which I guess is the middle, and that she actually sells her body by wearing normal shirts that she call lingerie. I mean, I would get if she was in a bikini or thong, but just normal shirts is selling her body. Got you.
Would you believe that Pokemane presents herself as single despite flirting with multiple streamers on stream, both online and offline, having her under-the-table relationship, and even shipping herself with other streamers? Well, she did this despite utilizing her podcast to throw shade at Amaranth for having a secret husband while presenting herself as single in a way where she wouldn't get banned for harassment as per the Twitch TOS. And it's not that I care that she was passed around in the esports scene like a football, it's that, well, let me give a Pokeism. She's throwing rocks in glass houses.
You already made the football comment and exposed yourself as a cunt. Just leave the Pokeisms to Pokemon. I mean, come on, come on. Just because she flirts a lot doesn't mean that she has a boyfriend. I mean, if she was really good at flirting, I could see her having a boyfriend. I mean, anybody would be happy to probably be her boyfriend or her man as long as they're not married. But hey, but yeah, if you actually like try to hide your husband or significant other, that's a very grimy thing. And unless you have a exposed video where she has a husband, I don't see how this is relevant.
Because after all, she's like a leech in the most literal sense, sucking her way to the top. She flirts with several other male streamers in order for them to host her or promote her.
I want you to come see my cat again.
Why?
Because she's just so, like, she gets cuter with time, and I just want everyone to be able to experience it. Trust me, you'll love it.
I think it's a less of a sucking and more of a flirting their way to the top. And if she can actually get the exposure without like banging any of these guys, if they're foolish enough to actually let her on stream and flirt with them without getting the cooch, and then hey, that's their fault, not hers.
The last thing I want to touch on is phony mains stealing art. I have two examples of phony mains stealing art. The first being her Pepe face paint. A streamer called her out for stealing her idea that she had already done and not giving her any credit for it. Now I know her White Knights are probably going to defend her saying, oh, it's probably just a coincidence. But then what about the second instance where she has stolen art? Her merchandise looks very similar to somebody else's merchandise. Now, if you want to take these two things and argue that, oh, you know, these are common things, two people can think of the same thing, I don't think that would really help you out, because not only is it unlikely, it just shows how unoriginal she is. Now you guys can see what I meant in the intro when I said that it's gonna feel repetitive because all these girls are so similar, they're all friends with each other, and it just feels like I have to make the same video over and over on a different person.
No, it just feels repetitive because you're a basic bitch. And who cares? She does Pepe the Frog face paint, which I'm sorry, I've seen clowns at like 9-year-old birthday parties who do Pepe the Frog paint. It's not really that like, I don't know, like original. And also, I like to point out that Japanese fonts with a gun behind it is not that much of an original idea either. So who cares? I mean, of course you can come up with ideas like that. That's such a basic concept. It's like dressing up as Power Rangers. How about instead of dressing up as Pepe the Frog, create your own Pepe the Frog or some ideal character so that way you can actually call people out for stealing your stuff when they actually dress up as your character. But yeah, I'm gonna stop it here. I mean, this was a epically boring video.